Welcome back, everybody, to another deep dive. This time, we are heading over to Milan Men's Fashion Week for Fall/Winter 2025-2026.
Oh, very exciting.
So we've got the official schedule for the week, and then also we found some press about this digital journalist, Simona Cochi, who's doing some pretty cool stuff.
Interesting.
So yeah, by the end of this deep dive, you will be completely up to speed with what's happening in Milan.
I can't wait.
So right off the bat, looking at this schedule, I see some major names like
Yes.
Armani, Prada, Zegna, and Dolce & Gabbana.
Oh, wow. The heavy hitters.
But I also noticed that there are way more presentations than like full-blown runway shows.
I wonder what that's all about.
Yeah. What do you think about that?
Well, it seems like maybe the fashion industry is kind of shifting away from that big spectacle that is the runway show and moving towards something a little more intimate and curated.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. With these presentations, you can actually see the details up close.
Yeah.
The craftsmanship, you can really connect with the clothes in a different way.
Yeah, and I wonder if that's kind of a response to the digital age. Like everything's already online instantly anyway.
Right.
So maybe they're trying to create more of a feeling of exclusivity or intimate access.
Yeah, I think it could be a combination of factors, honestly.
Okay.
Obviously, social media and live streaming has made runway shows way more accessible to like global audience. So maybe presentations are a way for designers to kind of like reclaim that sense of exclusivity and create a more controlled environment where they can really connect with their audience, in a deeper way.
Yeah, I like that. Okay, so let's dive into this schedule. So Dolce & Gabbana are going first, kicking things off Saturday afternoon, and then Armani is doing Sunday MED Monday morning at the same time.
Wow, that is a serious power move.
I know. So what do you think those presentations are going to be like?
Well, knowing Dolce & Gabbana, I bet theirs is going to be super lavish.
Oh, yeah.
Full of theatricality,
Yeah.
Very Italian opulence.
For sure.
Whereas Armani, I think it'll be more his signature understated elegance and tailoring. So more refined minimalist,
Okay.
but still incredibly impactful.
Got it. Okay, so then looking beyond the catwalks, we have some really interesting special events happening.
Ooh, like what?
So Friday evening, Grossi is hosting something called The Casting.
Okay.
And it's this immersive video installation experience that reveals the faces behind the fashion.
Oh, wow. So they're kind of like pulling back the curtain on the casting process.
Exactly. It gives you a peek into that whole world.
That's such a great example of how these events are going beyond just showing the clothes.
Right.
It's about creating these immersive experiences and engaging with the audience in totally new and innovative ways.
And I wonder how Simona Cochi will cover something like that digitally.
Me too. I'm
Yeah.
so curious about her take on this.
Yeah, because the press release mentioned she's using AI-powered podcasts, and I'm really curious about that. How does that even work?
It's pretty fascinating.
Yeah.
AI can analyze just massive amounts of data from fashion trends to social media sentiment
Wow.
to like identify patterns and insights that humans might just not see right away. So Kochi is using AI to create podcasts that basically delve deeper into the stories behind the collections. So you get like a richer, more comprehensive perspective.
So it's not just replacing journalists with robots.
No. Like that.
It's more about using AI as like a tool to enhance storytelling.
Yeah, and create a more immersive experience.
That's really cool. Okay, but back to the schedule for a second, because there's also a Paul and Shark breakfast Saturday morning at a place called Paul and Shark Boulangerie.
Okay, wait, is that an actual bakery?
That's what I was wondering.
Or is that like a pop-up thing?
Yeah, because fashion is always about those,
Right.
those crazy pop-up experiences and creative venues.
Yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised if it was some kind of like special bakery concept.
Oh, for sure. And then I wonder how Cochi's gonna like capture that digitally.
Yeah.
Will she do behind the scenes on YouTube or something?
Oh, probably.
Okay, and then Saturday night, there's an MSGM party. And Sunday gets even more exciting with Fabio Quaranta presenting a menswear archive collection at a place called Motel Salieri.
Motel Salieri.
Is that?
Okay, so I did a little digging, and it looks like Motel Salieri is this trendy concept store and event space. It looks like they host like art exhibitions and fashion installations.
Oh, cool.
So for Quaranta to show his menswear archive there, it feels very like fashion meets art,
Yeah.
like heritage meets contemporary trends.
Right. And then the same day, we have the Bali party with a capsule collection, and DJ Leo Mass is spinning.
Oh, nice.
Can I ask a maybe silly question? What exactly is a capsule collection?
Oh, no, not silly at all. A capsule collection is basically a limited edition line of clothing.
Okay.
Sometimes it's a collaboration with another designer or brand,
Uh-huh.
or sometimes it's just themed around a specific event or concept.
Okay, that makes sense. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So it seems like they're really going all out with the special events this year.
Yeah, it's not just about the clothes anymore.
It's about the whole lifestyle.
Yeah, and building a brand, creating a community.
I see that. And then Monday evening, CSM is partnering with Canartigianato Moda and IC to host CSM Meets Sustainability.
Interesting.
So they're showcasing ethical fashion collections to buyers and the press.
I'm really curious to see how Cochi incorporates that into her digital coverage.
Yeah, me too. It really highlights that growing importance of ethical fashion.
Absolutely.
It's not a niche trend anymore. It's like a core value now.
Yes, that's encouraging to see.
But it also kind of begs the question of like, how can this industry known for fast fashion and sometimes wasteful practices actually embrace sustainability
Well,
in a meaningful way?
that is the question.
I wonder if Cochi will use her platform to kind of like advocate for more sustainable practices.
Yeah, maybe her AI-powered podcast could be a good way to raise awareness.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, I'm super intrigued by this contrast between the legacy brands like Armani and Dolce & Gabbana, who are still holding on to the traditional runway format, and then these newer designers opting for presentations and pushing boundaries with these digital experiences.
It's like we're seeing tradition and innovation clash in real time.
Yeah, it is. Okay, well, we have covered a lot of ground in this first part of our deep dive.
We'd have
We talked about the schedule,
the big names,
some of the intriguing special events.
and of course the digital disruptor herself, Simona Cochi.
Exactly. So let's take a little pause here and come back to unpack more of what's going on in Milan in part 2.
It's so interesting to see how these big established names are kind of navigating this new landscape. You know,
Yeah.
they get the power of the spectacle, but they're also embracing these new ways to connect.
Definitely. So what about those up-and-coming designers who are opting for these presentations?
Yeah,
What's the advantage there?
I think presentations just allow for a more intimate and personalized experience.
Yeah.
Designers can connect with buyers and journalists and influencers like one-on-one
Uh-huh.
and really like showcase the details and the craftsmanship of their collections.
Right.
It's just a different energy than a runway show.
Yeah. It's almost like a return to the roots of fashion when it was all about personal connections and those bespoke creations.
Right.
But speaking of digital disruption, how do you think Simona Cochi is going to be covering these smaller presentations?
Well, Cochi is all about accessibility and bringing fashion to everyone.
Yeah.
So she might use her platform to really highlight these emerging designers, giving them more exposure than they would get otherwise.
I can totally see her doing a live stream from a presentation.
Yes.
Interviewing the designer, giving her viewers that close-up look at the clothes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And maybe even using AR, augmented reality.
Ooh,
So viewers can virtually try on the pieces.
that's so cool. And her AI podcast could totally play a role here too.
Oh, for sure.
Imagine like an AI analyzing the designs of an emerging designer and picking out their unique style.
Right.
And even like predicting their future trajectory.
That would be like having a fashion oracle.
I know, it's so cool. But okay, let's get back to the special events for a second. We talked about the casting, that immersive video installation by Grossi.
Yeah.
Do you think that reflects a broader trend in the industry of making fashion more transparent?
I think so. Consumers nowadays, they're so interested in the stories behind the clothes,
For sure.
and they want to connect with the people who are making them.
Yeah.
So Grossi is pulling back the curtain on the casting process and humanizing the whole thing.
It's like that intimate and personalized experience that we were talking about with the presentation.
Exactly. It's like
What-
the whole industry is shifting towards more transparency and connection.
I like that. So, okay, I have to ask about the pollen shark breakfast at the Pollen Shark Boulangerie.
Okay.
It just sounds so whimsical.
It does.
What do you think they're going to be serving? Like croissants with shark fin designs?
Maybe. Who knows? But it's such a smart marketing ploy,
Oh, for sure.
to get people talking and create a memorable experience.
Yeah, fashion is all about that entertainment and fantasy.
It is. And I'm sure Cochi will be there capturing it all.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Okay, and then there's also that MSGM party on Saturday night.
Oh, yes. MSGM always throws the best parties.
I know. Do you think Cochi will give us a peek at the party scene on her live stream?
I think it's highly likely. She's not afraid to show that behind-the-scenes glamour.
Yeah.
It's all part of her mission to make the industry feel more relatable.
It's like having a VIP pass to the most exclusive events.
Exactly. And then there's Fabio Quaranta showing his menswear archive at Motel Salieri.
Right.
Such a unique choice.
So I did some research, And Motel Sayari isn't just a concept store, it's also an art gallery
Oh, wow.
and an event space.
Interesting.
They've hosted everything from photography exhibitions to avant-garde fashion installations.
So for Quaranta to choose that venue,
Yeah.
I feel like he's making a statement.
Yeah.
You know, like his work in art.
Right. It's not just clothes, it's art. It's about the enduring legacy of his designs.
Yeah, I wonder if this choice reflects a bigger trend of fashion blending with other art forms,
Right.
like blurring the lines between disciplines.
Do you think Cochi will pick up on that?
Oh, I'm sure of it. She's always looking for those deeper meanings behind the trends.
Hmm.
She might even connect Quaranta's archive collection to the whole resurgence of vintage and retro fashion.
Yeah, because fashion is cyclical.
It is.
It always comes back around.
It's like she's weaving all these threads together.
She is.
The trends, the designers, the events, the digital innovations.
She's like a master weaver creating this tapestry of fashion stories.
And with technology, she can make that tapestry so much richer
Yeah,
and more interactive.
I love that. Okay, but let's not forget about the Bally Party on Sunday
Oh, yes.
with the capsule collection and DJ Leo Mass.
Bali is known for their leather goods, you know?
It's luxurious.
Yes. And DJ Leo Mass is like a legend.
It's the perfect mix of fashion and music.
For sure. So cool and sophisticated.
I wonder if Cochi will interview DJ Leo Mass
Oh, maybe.
about like how he sees music influencing fashion.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
She's so good at integrating those different elements into her coverage.
Yeah, she is. Okay, Monday's highlight, CSM meets sustainability.
It's great to see ethical fashion getting this kind of attention.
It is, even if it's just for one evening.
But is it enough?
Right, because the industry still has a lot of work to do.
A lot of work.
It's not just about buying a few eco-friendly pieces, it's about changing our whole mindset.
Yes.
No.
And demanding more transparency from the brands.
Exactly. And I think this is where someone like Cochi can make a real difference.
For sure.
She has such a big platform.
She can really advocate for change.
I wonder what angle she'll take with this event.
Hmm.
Will she focus on the innovative fabrics and the production methods?
Maybe. Or maybe she'll take a more critical stance and look at the challenges of making fashion truly sustainable.
I think it'll be a mix of both.
Probably.
She's not afraid to ask those tough questions.
Nope. But she's also optimistic and excited to show the positive changes that are happening.
Right. Okay, before we move on, let's do a quick recap.
Okay.
We've talked about the shift towards presentations.
Yes.
The importance of special events.
And the rise of digital disruptors like Simona Cochi.
Who are totally transforming the way we experience fashion
We also talked about the growing focus on sustainability.
and how to make it actually meaningful.
Yeah, so much to think about. Welcome back to part 3 of our deep dive into Milan Men's Fashion Week.
Are you ready for more?
So we've talked a lot about Simona Cochi and her digital coverage, but I'm curious what you think about how her Italian background might be influencing her perspective.
Oh, that's an interesting angle. You know, Italian fashion is known for that craftsmanship.
Uh-huh.
The attention to detail, the sense of history and heritage.
Yeah.
I think Cochi's deep understanding of Italian culture probably adds a richness to her coverage
Yeah.
that we wouldn't see from someone with a purely fashion background.
I'm thinking back to that Fabio Quaranta event at Motel Salieri.
Yes.
Like her knowledge of Italian art and history could give her such a deeper appreciation for his archive collection.
Totally. She might even draw parallels between Quaranta's designs and classic Italian art or architecture. Yeah, highlighting those cultural influences.
It all ties together.
Fashion is never just about the clothes, is it?
It's so much more.
It's a reflection of culture values, individual stories.
Yeah, and it seems like Cochi is really trying to capture all of that.
Okay, so we've covered the schedule, the designers, the events, the digital disruption.
It's been a whirlwind.
But what does it all mean? What are the key takeaways here?
Well, I think the biggest takeaway is that fashion is at a crossroads.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the traditional ways of doing things are being challenged by new technologies
Yeah.
and changing values.
We see it with the presentations, the focus on sustainability, the rise of digital
I
platforms.
think it's all happening so fast.
And it feels both exciting and a little uncertain.
For sure. Like we're entering this new era.
But we don't know what it's going to look like yet.
That's the exciting part.
Do you think these digital experiences will ever totally overshadow the physical events?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Like, will we all be watching holographic runway shows from our living rooms one day?
I think there will always be a place for the physical,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
the tangible, the experiential.
Right.
There's something magical about actually being at a show, feeling the energy,
Uh-huh.
seeing the clothes up close.
Yeah.
That's hard to replicate digitally.
You're right. It engages all of your senses.
Exactly.
But maybe the future is about finding that balance,
Yeah.
like a synergy between the physical and the digital.
Right, like hybrid events.
Yeah, imagine attending a show in person, but also having access to augmented reality
Oh,
to
wow.
get more information about the clothes.
That would be so cool.
Or even interacting with the designers virtually and
Amazing.
customizing pieces.
It's like technology enhancing the human connection, not replacing it.
Exactly. And that's what Simona Cochi is doing so well.
She
She's
is.
using technology to connect with people, to share her passion for fashion.
They're making it all more accessible.
So, what should our listeners do after this deep dive?
Well, first of all, I would say subscribe to Simona Cochi's YouTube channel, The Italian Way.
Oh, yeah, great suggestion.
It's a great way to stay up to date on everything.
Definitely. And just stay curious, keep exploring.
Yeah,
Don't be afraid to embrace the changes.
because the future of fashion is being written right now.
And we're all part of it.
That's a great point.
Well, thank you for joining us on this deep dive into Milan Men's Fashion Week.
It's been a pleasure.
We hope you enjoyed it and feel inspired to explore this amazing world of fashion.
Until next time.
See you then.